to the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So all around town radio show is where I go for the latest band info. So all around town radio show for the music that comforts my soul. It's the all around town radio show. The all around town radio.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this Labor Day edition of Backstage Hall Pass. It is our Monday show we call the Weekend Update. How y'all doing? Hope you had a great weekend. Man, I sound weird. Something sounds strange in my ears. Hopefully I sound all right to you out there. If not, tell me. Who's checking in today? What do we got here? It looks like Alex Hall, my brother from another mother, is in the house. Glenn is checking in on the YouTube channel. The Wanderers, Ray Renee in the house. How you doing, Ray? Carolyn is here. Hi, Carolyn. What's going on? Cricket is in the house. Do I have my crickets ready today? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I do. I actually do. Well, let's kill the theme song first before I bring that back up. There's our crickets. How you doing, cricket? Welcome to the program. You know, who'd ever thought I'd have crickets in the board, but I do. It's crazy. Welcome to the program today, guys. You can drop in the comments if you have not put it on our page yet about who you saw play over the weekend. Please drop it in the comments. Let us know who you are and who you saw and where you saw them. Always mention the venues. Hello, Ditch. Thanks for being here today. We know it's not going to be a huge show being on a holiday and all, but we're gonna give it our best try here and chat with everybody for a few minutes. So again, if you saw somebody play over the weekend or last week and you want to mention them in the comments, please throw it in there. We'd love to hear from you. Hi, Don Hudson from Second Wind in the house. Colleen is here. What's going on? Retrovengeance Band. Good to have you with us, Colleen. What else we got going here? Rob Paisley checking in on the tube of you. And Bailey Bug Mason. I'm trying to figure that one out. How are you? Good to see you on here. Good to have you with us. Well, welcome everybody. Sound check time. Anybody hearing us? Are you hearing us? Are you hearing us live in the studio? Welcome. It's Monday, September 4th. It's Backstage Hall Pass from All Around Town Radio, your number one source for live local music news, bands, venues, and more. And your home for everything music in the tri-state. Thank you, Carolyn, for saying it sounds clear. I appreciate that very much for the sound check. Absolutely. So don't forget to hit the share button anytime you watch our programming. Share it with your music-loving friends. Let them know we're out there. A lot of people don't know what we do. I've run into people over the weekend even that didn't know they're in bands and didn't know what we did here. So, yeah, let's chat it up, folks. Get them rolling in there if you can. We'd love to hear from them. And I do interview bands. Absolutely, Dale. Every Wednesday is supposed to be Wednesday with the band. Now, we get a few cancellations on that occasionally, but every Wednesday is Wednesday with the band. So if you know a band, throw them our way. Slide into our DMs, as they say. Hi, Steve Stein. Speaking of bands, how are you? The Times, the Bee's Knees, you name it. Steve Stein's doing it out there. Thank you for being with us. All right. I want to mention real quick, a big thank you to those of you who shared the show on Thursday, our Thursday show, Who's Playing Out, brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, where we feature all the musicians and the venues in the tri-state that send us their stuff. And 3.4 thousand views on that one. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate that a lot. You don't know how much. Yes. So apparently we're off double secret probation on the Book of Face, and they have actually let us do what we need to do here for a few weeks. So that's good. It's good. Guilty pleasure in the house. Absolutely, Dale. Love to do that. Love to have you on. Let's see. The Wanderers Thank you. I'm sure Sweet Sister Mercy did a great job, and yes, I get it. I wasn't there to see it, but yes, just one of those things. I did catch Gina though on Sunday, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. That was fun. Get a chance, but thanks for missing, Glenn. So do want to say follow us on all the socials, guys. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Of course, if you're not on YouTube right now and you're on Facebook, give us a subscribe on YouTube as well, because if anything ever happens to the Book of Face, we'll be on YouTube. If something should cause us to not be able to mass communicate here, as they often do, we'd be glad to bring it up on the YouTube channel. So don't forget, too, to send us your ideas for Hot Topic Tuesday. Karis and I will be with you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We'll post the topic tomorrow on the page, so watch for that to pop up. But Hot Topic Tuesday's been going strong. Last week was a great show, and we're really enjoying the audience participation on that one. So if you guys are certainly, if you're there, come on in on Tuesdays and join us for Hot Topic Tuesday. Every Wednesday with the band rolling your way. And then also on Thursday, Who's Playing Out, brought to you by Froggies in Monroe. Today, September 4th, it is Labor Day. Thought about canceling today because of the holiday, but thought, what the heck? I might as well get on for a few minutes here. Chat it up with y'all. It's National Labor Day. As you know, it's also Macadamia Nut Day, just in case you needed to know that. If you're out there, give us a comment, guys. Let us know where you are. Love to hear from you. If you can drop a comment in, I'd love to hear it today. So say something about who you saw play music this weekend. That's what we'd like to chat about today. So this week in music for us, back on Wednesday night, I did name that tune at Heather's. Yeah, we had a great time. Nice temperature. In fact, it was a little chilly that night. This week, not so chilly, it looks like, on Wednesday. But it actually, by the end of the game, got a little chilly. We had 27 teams, a whole bunch of players. You know, school started back, so a lot of the people have other obligations on Wednesdays, but we got some diehards that play every week. They'll get perfect attendance all the way through our season. It's about a 26-week season. So glad to have you all there. Had some great rounds. Obviously, this week, you might look for a few tunes in there, maybe a Jimmy Buffett tune or two, or a Smash Mouth tune. We've lost some great people this week in music, and you may hear some of those next Wednesday at Heather's on the patio. Let me see what Roger's got to say here. Said he saw Sweet Sister Mercy at Jack Russell's Great White, St. Cecilia, in good old Independence. There you go. Well, good for you, Roger. Thank you. And I love Sweet Sister Mercy. They're the ones who sing that theme song you hear on our show every day. But I love that group, and they're such nice guys and so good to hang out with. I've done a couple shows with Jack Russell and Great White. Those were interesting. That's what I'll say about that. They were interesting. Hopefully Jack did a great job for him down there. Give me a little upgrade there, and tell me how Jack Russell's Great White sounded. The band's always right on, and God love Jack for still being out there doing it. Jeez, he's no spring chicken. He's not. All right, so that was our Wednesday. Heather's on the patio. We've got it all the way through mid-November. So if you haven't joined us yet for Name That Tune, come on down. Roger said really good. I'm amazed at the way Jack Russell can still hit those high notes too. I mean, he really does. And does a great job with that. He's a little interesting to work with sometimes, but you know, if you've been in the business that long, it could be interesting. And Glenn says Jack killed it. Good. I'm glad to hear it. He was on his game. I like it. So Thursday night, no music for me. I did not get to the jam. Had a lot of people messaging saying, "Hey, get to the jam tonight at the Bell and the Bear." There was a lot of good things going on there. Didn't get down there because just frankly had a grandson soccer game, and that trumps the music on Thursday night sometimes. They did that on Thursday because the holiday. They normally play over the weekend, but they took off for the holiday. So I went to a soccer game in Miamisburg where they won. They're 3-0. So love it. Love watching him play. Liam gets out there and plays hard. So that was our Thursday night. And then Friday, I want to hit it. I want to see, I'm trying to see what's, Bailey, I don't know what you're saying there. I'll pop it up on the screen. Saturday, the 26th of August, seen 5 Seconds of Summer. Oh, is that the name of the band? Okay. I've not heard of them. I've heard of Southern Summer, but not 5 Seconds of Summer. And want to talk about Friday for a minute. Again, Friday night, Heather's on the patio again for me, close to home, fun. Truck. Took in the boys from Truck. If you've never seen Truck, hi, John Hay. Hi, Mike Sievers. Thanks for joining us. If you've never seen the guys from Truck, I will tell you, they do an amazing job of blending their bluegrass sound with country and some other rock and roll mixed in a country way, and good stuff. Well, I guess Jack and I share a birthday then. I thought he was older than that. Man, he looks older than that. I hate to say that, but he does. He looks like he's old. 62. That's it, huh? Wow. What's going on, Mike Sievers? Thank you for dropping by. So let me talk about Truck for a minute. A really good blend of vocals and musicianship on the Truck band. They're very vocally deep. You've got Nick Wheeler who's singing, Ty Richards who's the lead singer in the group, and then Kenny Utley singing, Doug Warner. I mean, it's a very deep group when it comes to vocals. They had a gentleman named Steve Garland sit in with them a little bit and play for a few minutes, and then he got up and played on the breaks. Did a great job. I've never met Steve. I don't know much about him, but he was good and entertaining and played well on the band's breaks. It's always good to see the boys from Truck. Now, I want to thank Nick Wheeler for the shout out, by the way. He gave me a little shout out. Nick plays some nights on Wednesday nights when we play Name That Tune, and he's a pleasure to have there. I always love hearing him sing harmonies in the background when I'm playing the music. But Nick's a stellar performer on stage and an even better guy. And you guys, if you don't know Truck, you need to get to know them. They're a wonderful bunch of guys. So much fun. They do a version, and they always throw the dedication my way. Madonna, Crazy for You, in a bluegrass format. It's fantastic. They're doing some Poison music thrown in there. They're, of course, doing all the country standards and some new country stuff, too. Some of the new independent country, the Cody Jinks, Tyler Childers, those kind of songs that they're throwing in there. So really some good stuff from Truck. When I say I was blown away by Kenny Utley, his vocals that night. He did Sweet Caroline, a Neil Diamond song, and if you'd have closed your eyes, you thought Neil was singing it. His voice sounded just like Neil Diamond. Crazy good, Kenny Utley. And Ty Richards got a smooth voice too. The lead, Ty, he's fantastic. And all in all, a great band. Always fun at Heather's on the patio anytime you go for any kind of music there. But good stuff. Carolyn, yes, Truck is fun, and you need to check them out. They're really a great bunch of guys too, and they have a blast with their audience. And then George Strait walked in. I'm telling you, this guy walked in. He looked just like George Strait, dressed like him, hat like him, shirt like him, right down to the little skull rub on his jeans, skull pouch rub. Walked in, threw a George Strait request $20 bill into the bucket, I think, or something like that, and they played it. Wow. It was a good night. It was a fun night, just relaxing, no pressure, no nothing. We didn't go anywhere else. Sat there and watched the guys from Truck, and it was a good, relaxing weekend. Mike Seaver says Truck. Yeah, that's their slogan. And man, it's TRUK. Look them up on the Book of Face, guys. Like their page, if you will, for sure. And yes, Corona Buffett, you are correct. Buffett's passing was unbelievably sad news for the Cincinnati music community. And I was going to talk about that at the end of the show, but I'll talk about it now for sure, since you made that comment. Corona says he's never heard of Buffett until he moved to the Cincy area. Yeah, I mean, Buffett loves Cincinnati. He did. And, that's where he coined the parrot head phrase at Timberwolf at Kings Island when he was playing there. And what a performer, Jimmy Buffett. I mean, people dog on him about his singing ability and all that. He always said he didn't think he was the best singer ever in the world, but he has fun songs and songs people can relate to and songs that take you to the beach, and who doesn't want to go to the beach, right? I mean, and he was a good songwriter too. So, yeah, good stuff. And unfortunately, he's gone, and he'll be Riverbend's not going to know how to act. I mean, that was one of their biggest shows of the year. And that's just a shame. Just a shame. And Carolyn says Buffett's songwriting was beautiful, and I agree 100%. His lyrics were great. And if you ever think about just the way he performed these songs, and if you ever listen to him live, and they have Buffett radio on XM and all that. And they'd play his concerts. And it was almost like he never did the same song the same way twice. He always threw a little different flair for wherever he was in. And I think that's the other thing that turned people on. And of course, the party. I mean, I have Buffett stories. I was at Riverbend one time. What song was he singing? I'm trying to remember, but it was like dual puking going on next to us in the lawn. There were two girls that obviously pre-gamed way too much. And one side of our group, there was one throwing up, and the other side of the group, and that's Buffett's shows. It is. I mean, who would want to miss that? Not at all. Not at all. Yes, I've heard of Standard Country Time. I know those guys well, Dale. Very much so. And good guys. We've had them on the show before, actually. Had them live here, and we interviewed them from Pullman Lanes a while back. Hi, Carrie. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, every time you visit Fort Myers, Buffett's always on the playlist. Anytime you go to the beach, if you don't have Buffett on your playlist, you're silly. And I mean, go on a cruise. And I mean, the steel drum bands on the deck of the cruise are playing Buffett music. And, it's just, his songs will be timeless forever. Margaritaville resorts are just hopefully going to continue to boom like they are. And Dale, your dad's Butch. All right. Yeah. Butch is on here once in a while for sure. He is. All right. Hi, Scarlett. Thank you for joining us today. Good to have you with us. Guys, as we move through our weekend, that was our Friday night was with Truck, and it was a lot of fun there at Heather's on the patio. And hi, Scotty Long. And you got an opportunity. Name who you saw, Scotty. Throw it in the comments. Love to hear about it here. I know you were out there this weekend, and thank you for that video. Scotty's little one wearing one of my Haul Around Town shirts and giving me a shout out on the video. And that was cool. That made my day. Thank you so much for that. And yes. And it's sad about Jimmy Buffett. It is. And I don't even know what to say. I mean, everybody I think is stunned by that. And it's a sad thing. And everybody thought he'd be performing in Cincinnati forever, and playing Riverbend and doing all the things he did. And it's tough. And hello, JT. How are you? Thanks for watching. Scarlett's in the house. Thank you so much for being here. So I just want to give another big shout out before we move on to the boys from Truck. Again, it's a band that not only you go see because of their musical ability and their vocal ability, but you go see because they're good people. And they're really welcoming to their audience, and they get around and they talk to their and I hate their friends, I'm going to say. I hate fans. Fans is a sucky word for a local band. But friends, people who follow them and they come and see them because they're there. Roger McNutt was in the house that night. He's a big follower of Truck, and we were talking about him and just how much they intend to improve every time we see him. So great times. And man, check him out. The musicianship too is just Doug Warner back there on that dobro and lead guitar. He's a beast. A beast. And anybody that plays the theme from Smokey and the Bandit doing the Least Bound and Down, Jerry Reed song, it's awesome. It's awesome. Dale, you can look that up. If you just look up Haul Around Town Radio and Standard Country Time Band, you should find it. It should be there for sure. Hi, Kara. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks for dropping in. All right, a couple more things I want to talk about before we get out of here on this Labor Day. First and foremost, thanks those of you who took some time out of your holiday here to tune in and join us on this little video cast, as we're calling it. Let me move on to Sunday. And I didn't do a whole lot this weekend. I mean, went out Friday night, saw Truck. Sunday took a nice afternoon out of live local music. And I've been to the phone booth several times to see some good bands there, but I've never been to the Doug Hart Band Jam, the Blues Jam session that goes on Sundays at the Phone Booth Lounge. It's in Kettering, Ohio, if you're unfamiliar with that, kind of in a weird location. But it's a good location. It's easy to get to. And it sits around a lot of apartment complexes and things. So they had a good crowd in there on a Sunday. Hello, Jim Kilroy. I'll throw that up there. Said Jameson Road at Rick's Tavern. They were awesome. All right. Saw a lot of music over there. I'm glad you did, Jim. You get out all the time. And there's Scotty Long's lineup, too. Danny Frazier. Yes. With Gina McCann. We're going to talk about her. And EBN crew. That's fun. Fun for you. Glad you had a good time with that one. And did you were you at the 16 Lots location? Was that where EBN's crew was, or where were they stationed? I know 16 Lots had a big party last night with Dat Band and lots of good stuff. Seen a lot of video from that. Looked like a blast. So let me talk about Doug Hart for a minute. If you don't know Doug Hart, you need to know him if you love blues music. Any kind of music, actually. But Doug Hart's a stellar performer. This band is made up of Doug Hart, Martin Romy, who, if you know Martin, he's played with a lot of people. He's an excellent bass player. Jim Vodris, I believe is the way you say his name, on drums, and Mike Sonderman on keyboards. And if anybody knows me well, you know that I love that Hammond B3 sound. When it comes to the blues and that Hammond B3 keyboard sound, Mike was on it. Okay. Wasn't a true B3, but it was the Hammond B3. It had a little whirly bird in the back and all that fun stuff. But boy, was he good. And Doug's talent is absolutely off the chain stellar anytime he plays. I don't get to see him enough. I'd love to see him more because he's just fantastic. Saw your point. Thank you for that, Scotty Long. And, the rest of the band's right there too. I mean, the rest of his band, I mean, for a jam, this kind of rivals what goes on at the Bell on Thursday night, because you've got this great band backing up the people that come up to play the jam session, and the band is fantastic. And I love the sound of the keyboards, obviously. And like I said, Martin on the bass, he's a beast. He's one of those guys who, if you've ever seen him play, he plays notes in places I didn't know they could put them, and puts them in there, and it always sounds great. But one of the highlights, and the reason actually we kind of went, is actually saw that Gina McCann was going to be there. And if you know Gina McCann, I don't need to say anything. If you don't know Gina McCann, you better find out who she is, because Gina McCann is one of the best voices in the tri-state. I'm going to go out on that limb with the chainsaw running, and I don't care if it cuts it off and falls to the ground. Gina McCann is one of the best voices in the tri-state. Now, she did some songs with the band, and she did The Thrill Is Gone. Gosh, they did Stormy Monday, Take Me to the River, Proud Mary, Make Me an Angel. Gosh, what else did she do? She did a bunch. I off the top of my head can't even remember all of them, but all I know is that everybody in the place was wowed by Gina McCann's voice. And Doug Hart had been telling them, you could come to this thing on Sunday because you're going to be absolutely blown away by this girl. And got to sit there with Gina and Tim while the band started up, and then obviously with Tim. And one thing I'm going to say that just warms my heart to the core is to sit and watch how her husband Tim locks in on her when she sings and gets tears in his eyes. I mean, he's heard her sing these songs hundreds of times, and every time I see him, he is moved by her music. And he looked over at me and said, man, that just made the hair stand up on my arms. And I was like, absolutely. Gives you the old goosebumps. Gina is just unbelievably good and talented. So she plays with Johnny Fink a lot. If you get a chance to see the Gina and Johnny band, go do it. That's another one. And you can catch them every month at the Bell and the Bear on a Wednesday. So you can look for that schedule if you're down that way, or they play a lot around the Cincinnati area and such. But Gina McCann, thank you, Gina, for a great afternoon of music. Thank you, Doug Hart, for your unbelievable talents. Doug's one of those guys that makes it look effortless when he gets up there on stage. And Glenn says Tim is his BFF. I don't know. Would he say that back? That's what I want to know. Would he say that back? I'm not sure. But yeah, Tim's a great guy. And it's really cool to see the two of them together when they're out, and to see them come into a place like that. There were some other players that got up. I did not get their names. There's some pictures on our page if you want to see some of the pictures from the phone booth. Nice venue for music. The sound was incredibly good. And I didn't even get the sound guy's name. Didn't get the sound guy's name that day. There's a light guy, sound guy, and I'm going to tell you, both of them were on their game. Sound guy especially good. Just everything was perfect. You could hear everything. Only complaint I had, a little rattly snare, but that it happens. Yeah, but because the bass amp being next to the snare, so it would rattle. It was do its little vibration thing. But other than that, what a great day! What a great day of music on Sunday at the Phone Booth Lounge. So that was our weekend, man. That's about all we did. And hopefully, if you guys haven't posted it yet, throw it on our page. We've got a post on the page that asks who you saw play over the weekend. So get it in there. Give the venue a shout out, if you will. And Carolyn says Gina is authentic. Oh, absolutely. Carolyn, I can't say enough about her. And again, another one of those people in the local music community who has a great soul. Not just a soul to sing, but a soul to care for people and to be friendly. And she's awesome. And I love Gina McCann. I just can't say it enough. And hi, Bill. Yeah, he got to see the Jam on Thursday with Johnny Fink helping host that one, and Danny Frazier at Laurie's Roadhouse in Westchester. How are the lights at Laurie's, Bill? Were they better? I don't know. Sometimes those lights get to Bill. They do. So that's all I got today, guys. It's Labor Day. We're going to get out of here. I've got ribs smoking on the grill, ready for a good dinner. And hopefully you guys are going to have a great night tonight as well. Tomorrow, I will tell you that tomorrow is Hot Topic Tuesday. Karis will be with me at 5 o'clock. Topic will be posted on the page tomorrow. Look that up. Wednesday with the band coming your way on Wednesday at noon. And then also Thursday at 5 o'clock. Who's Playing Out? Brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, Ohio. We're out of here, guys. Thanks for watching right here on a holiday. All Around Town Radio. Make sure you hit that share button, guys. And if you haven't liked our page yet, give it a like, will you? Will you give it a like? We could use that if you give us a like. Let's get it over 10 grand on the likes and followers. How about that? Let's do that if we can. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube. You can get some extra content there. There's some podcasts that we've done on there and things like that. Also, you can follow us in the world of Instagram at All Around Town Radio. And of course, that YouTube channel is at All Around Town. And give us a like on the Book of Face. A lot of people out there have been invited, but they haven't hit that like button yet. So hit that like button, if you will, and join us. Thanks for watching today, guys. It's been a pleasure being with you on this Labor Day. Enjoy the rest of your holiday and have a good night out there supporting live local music. If that's what you're doing, we'll see you next time tomorrow, 5 o'clock live right here with Karis and Scott. Hot Topic Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
Weekend, and I want to see a show. I flip on the Book of Face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community.